Lahat po ba ng abogado ay sinungaling? Pwede po ba ako sa law school kung ako ay born again Christian? Meron pa po bang FilSat? Di po ba ay sabi na ng Supreme Court na ito ay unconstitutional? These are the questions I get almost on a daily basis, kapatid, and I've taken the liberty of putting them all together and answering them here. Here are the common questions people ask about law school and the legal profession in the Philippines. Coming right up! Hi, my name is Lex and welcome to Lex in Motion. In this channel, I'll be helping you build your competence, confidence, and capability in law school. Start today by hitting the subscribe button below. New episodes are posted every Friday. Let's first address the question about FilSat. Meron pa po bang FilSat? In Pimentel versus Legal Education Board, the Supreme Court declared the policy of requiring all freshmen applying for all law schools in the Philippines to take and pass the FilSat. The rule now is that law schools have the option of making the FilSat part of their admission requirements. Some law schools, on the other hand, administer their own entrance exams and interviews. I have made an older episode on what to expect for your entrance exam and interview, and I'll be leaving a link to that in the description down below. For the year 2020, the FilSat has been cancelled and you're now eligible to enroll in all law schools, whether or not the FilSat is required. For the year 2020, some law schools have suspended their admission requirements or even waive their entrance exams. If you're enrolling as a freshman, please type your law school and whether or not you took the entrance exam in the comments down below. Malaking tulong ito, kapatid, sa mga gusto pang humabol ngayong school year na ito. May mga bagsak po ako nung college ako. Makakapasok pa po ba ako sa UP Law, Ateneo Law, or San Beda? Some law schools base about 25 to 35% of their decision to admit you to law school based on your grades during college. But if you're able to perform well in the entrance exam, the essay, and your interview, there's really no reason for you not to be admitted to your prospective law school. Some law schools, on the other hand, do not care about your grades during college. They are only interested in who you are right now, based on your performance in the entrance exam and interview, and who you can be in the future. For these schools, thankful dapat tayo, kapatid, lalo na tayo na hardworking or hard drinking noong college. Lahat po ba ng abogado ay sinungaling? Paano po ako papasok sa law kung ako po ay born again Christian or member ng ganitong religious group? Hindi lahat ng abogado ay sinungaling, kapatid, sa parehong paraan na hindi lahat ng abogado ay binabaligtad ang katotohanan para sa kanilang kliyente. The truth is, there is very little training in law school on how to twist facts or frame an issue to suit your client's needs. The truth of the matter is, in law school, we are trained to be officers of the court. As an officer of the court, a lawyer has three duties. There's the duty to the Constitution, the duty to the courts, and finally, the duty to the client. We are trained to deliver justice, kapatid, and sometimes that justice may be contrary to the interests of our clients. When that happens, we must always decide on our priorities: Constitution, courts, and our clients. Pagdating naman sa kasinungalingan, law school does not and will not tell you to lie for your clients. Hindi ganon ang ginagawa natin, kapatid. When two parties come to court, they are in effect each telling the court their version of the story. A lawyer may or may not know what he has been told by his client is the full truth. Our task is not to identify that factual truth, but to uphold the legal truth or the version of the story that's actually proven in court. For example, two women come to court. One of them says, "Your Honor, ang babae pong ito ay may utang sa akin na 3.2 million pesos at $6,600 US. Pero ayaw po niyang magbayad." The second woman is then summoned to court. Totoo bang may utang ka sa kanya na 3.2 million pesos at ilang libong dolyar? Sasabihin niya ngayon, "Ay, wala po akong utang." To this, the first woman is asked, "Wala naman daw siyang inutang sa'yo. Sinasayang mo ang oras namin. Nasaan ang iyong katibayan?" "Meron po, Your Honor. Narito po ang lahat ng resibo ng mga binayaran kong bill para sa kanya. Narito po ang aking mga naging deposit slips at iba pang documents." To this, the second woman responds, "Hindi po utang yan, Your Honor. Iyan po ang kanyang mga itinulong sa akin noong panahon na ako ay nangangailangan." In this scenario, kapatid, there are two parties represented by two lawyers. The first woman asks her lawyer to help her collect the sum of 3.2 million pesos and $6,600. The second woman approaches her lawyer and tells him, may naniningil ho sa akin, attorney, pero hindi ko po ito inutang. Ano po ang gagawin ko? Sa ganitong pagkakataon, kapatid, the two women believe in good faith that they are in the right and that they are shielded by the truth. The lawyers in this instance did not lie. They are merely performing their duties of protecting the interests of their clients. This scenario is actually taken from the discussion of our lesson on the ongoing series on intro to persons. If you know the case, please type the title of the case in the comments down below. If you're curious on how the case ended, I'll be leaving a link to the series on persons so you can find out. Paano po kung ako ay naatasang ipagtanggol ang isang guilty person? Should I defend a guilty person? In order to answer that question, we must first be able to define who is a guilty person. Ano ang naging basis, kapatid, para tawagin mo siyang guilty? Guilty person na ba ang tawag natin dahil napanood natin sa video sa Facebook na siya nga ang bumaril? Guilty person na ba siyang maituturing dahil napapaligiran na tayo ng mga comments sa Facebook na kawatan nga siya, na addict nga siya at ginawa niya ang mga krimen na yan? The guilt or innocence of a person is determined not by what we hear, see, or touch. It's determined by a series of highly technical rules. A person may have actually committed a crime but is nevertheless acquitted. Laya siya dahil hindi kayang patunayan ng prosecution ang kanyang krimen. Maaaring merong katibayan pero hindi ito admissible dahil labag ito sa Constitution. Maaaring kulang ang ebidensya kaya laya pa rin siya. Should you defend the guilty person? Guilty for me is just a label thrown around by people. All of us are presumed innocent until and unless a competent court declares that we are guilty. Dahil hindi ata ako papayag sa isang mundo na baliktad kung saan ako nga ay guilty muna hanggang hindi napapatunayan na wala akong naging kasalanan. Maaring sa pagkakaaresto sa isang taong supposedly or allegedly guilty, may mga na-violate na constitutional rights. Maaring sa kanyang pagkakakulong, siya ay sinaktan, ginulpi, pinahirapan, hanggang siya ay sumuko na lang at umamin para lang matapos ang pagpapahirap sa kanya. Kung sa akin naman na umamin siya, ipaglalaban ko pa rin siya. A successful defense is never limited to securing an acquittal for your client. It is often enough that we are able to get years taken away from his penalty, and these are the most important things you'll learn in criminal law and criminal procedure. Papasok na po ako sa law school sa bagong semester. Ano-ano po ang mga libro na dapat kong bilhin? As I've mentioned in past episodes, I do not recommend that you buy your textbook until and unless your professor specifically requires a textbook. Mahal ang libro sa law school, aabot ng 8,000 to 10,000 pesos ang gastos mo sa libro pa lang sa law school. Pwede pa yang lumobo depende kung maluho ka at gusto mo dadalawa ang libro mo kada subject. My advice instead is for you to buy yourself a Codal. A Codal is a small book that contains the law as it was written for us by Congress or in some cases by the Supreme Court. Wala itong paliwanag, batas lang ito. All of us need the Codals as easy reference. Sabi nga ng professor ko dati, basa lang ng basa at Codal lang ang pahinga. Pero sa mga kaklase kong matatapang, pumapasok sila na Codal lang ang nabasa. As of the time of this episode, August 2020, go ahead and buy the Codals for political law, criminal law, and the civil code. However, do not buy the Codal for the rules of court and taxation because these might be updated in the future, except when you're already buying the updated versions. If you're still interested in getting some reading done, then there's an entire playlist on this channel on what to expect in criminal law, constitutional law, taxation, legal ethics, and other subjects. Each episode has a list of cases that you absolutely have to read. Tipong walang pumapasa sa mga subjects na ito nang hindi nababasa ang mga kasong aking nabanggit. All of these cases are free resources that you can start reading today. Check that playlist in the description down below. Paano po aralin ang batas? Paano po ang aral na dapat naming gawin? There's an old series on how to read and understand the law. I have also made other episodes on how to study and learn the law on your own. The techniques I've shared there are still valid. In law school, you'll be asked to read anywhere between 80 to 120 pages in your textbook plus 20 to 30 cases per meeting per subject. Mababa na yan kapatid dahil nagkaroon na ako ng professor na 50 plus ang cases per meeting at number 37 ang simula ng tanungan. That's a lot of work kapatid, but I'm very sure kakayanin mo yan. I've also made many episodes on how to boost your productivity for law school and you can watch them in the description down below. Finally, if you're a senior high student, a college student, or employee who is saving up for law school, I've created a whole series for you. Intro to Persons is an easy-to-follow discussion of persons and family relations, a 4 or 5 unit subject that you'll need to pass during your first semester in your first year in law school. After the discussion, there's a short quiz that you can take to measure your understanding of the material. If you have other questions that you'd like me to answer in future episodes, please ask them. If you found this video helpful, please type yes in the comments down below. Finally, I want to ask you to share this video on social media to help anyone else who is interested in law school. Thank you so much for watching. Like and share this video for good law school karma, and I will see you next Friday.